This is part 2 of cutting the crap and just saying exactly what I think. So here's what I think. Several months ago, I made a set of videos that was about the murder of Brice Stoddard that occurred in 2013. Now, I had so many people comment on those videos and message me privately, like, why did more videos not get put out? Isn't there more information? There is a ton more information, but after I put out that last video, the family contacted me and asked me to temporarily pause putting out the videos in the case. They had another path that they wanted to try, so I did that. That being said, and I have all the information and would be more than happy to restart the videos when the family is comfortable doing that, because I want to show them respect. Who do I think murdered Brice Stoddard? I absolutely think, after having conversations with her, that the person that murdered Brice Stoddard is his wife at the time of his death. And just briefly, point blank, the reason that I think that is because of the conversations that I had with Brooke. Brooke Stoddard, when I spoke to her, and Stoddard isn't her last name now because she's been married a couple times, I think, since the murder of Brice Stoddard. After I talked to her, she had me convinced that, maybe she really was innocent. But then I talked to several other family members, and it just seemed like everything that she said, they were able to refute. And it was just all lies. It just seemed like it was all lies. And why lie? She literally had so many things, because of their religion, the things that they believed. I think that she used that religion to set up a situation where Brice may have very well worried about his own well-being. He did not think, I don't believe, that Brooke was going to actually murder him until she shot a bullet past his head. And then I think that he knew that he was in trouble, but I don't think that he knew what to do with that. I think that he trusted her more than he ever should have. And I think that at some point in time, Brooke will be held responsible for her crimes. There is so much evidence. So many of the people told me that Brooke had multiple insurance payouts, and there was a large life insurance policy on Brice, and I think that she did it. Maybe 2025 is the year that I cut the crap and start saying what I really think. I'm going to start a new playlist that are just my thoughts on cases, just exactly what I think and why I think that. The videos are going to be pretty short, I'm going to try to stay between 1 and 2 minutes, but get to the point, pretty concise, and just go for it. So my first one, of course, is on the West Memphis 3, since all this is coming up. West Memphis 3, I don't think that there's any way that Damien Echols, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Misskelley are guilty. No way. I fully believe 100% that Terry Hobbs is the one responsible for the murder of these young boys. Now, I do admit that I could be wrong. It could be the guy that was in Bojangles, but I cannot get past the hair that was in one of the knots at the scene of the crime that belonged to Terry Hobbs. Now, you might ask yourself, why are you so sure that Damien Echols, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Misskelley are innocent? The reason is because those 3 could have shut up about this case long ago, but they didn't. They continued to fight to have DNA evidence tested so that not only can their names be cleared, but so those 3 boys, Stevie, Christopher, and Michael's families, can get justice. And I don't think that a person does that unless they're actually innocent. Point blank. Part 3 of me cutting the crap and just saying exactly what I think. So I'm not sure if you remember, but last year there was a man that had been charged with the rape of a child in Arkansas. He was charged in federal court and he was sentenced to life in federal prison. There were actually 2 men, but one of those men was murdered in prison. That happened back in January, and that man's name was Mario Waters. Now, Mario Waters wasn't the only person that was charged in that crime. Along with Mario Waters, DeMarcus George and the mother of the child, Beth Englade, have all been charged. Now, Mario and DeMarcus both got sentenced to life in prison. Beth Englade's case is still pending. I 100% believe that Beth Englade is guilty of trafficking her child. Her 6-year-old was infected with STDs by these 2 men that just absolutely raped her and ruined her life. And 100% I believe that Beth Englade is every bit as responsible as Mario Waters was and as DeMarcus George was. Now, like I said, her case is still pending, so we will see what happens with that case. But I had a lot of messages whenever I put up videos about Beth Englade from a man that said that he was in a relationship with her and that she was super innocent. He didn't know her at the time the crimes happened, but he knows her now and he fully believes her. I don't believe her. I think that she absolutely knew what was going on. Part 4 of me cutting the crap and saying exactly what I think. Let's talk about Mark Oesterle. So Mark Oesterle was a school administrator in Springdale at the Springdale School District when he was charged with SA. He was charged with SA against a minor, and he got a light sentence. He got probation. He had to register as a SMEX offender, and he has repeatedly violated that. He has multiple cases right now that are pending. I think that Mark Oesterle should not have got the slap on the wrist that he got. If he had have got any actual time, then none of this would be happening right now. I think that Mark Oesterle thinks he's smarter than and superior to anyone else. I think that he believes that the rules do not apply to him. And until he actually gets a decent amount of time in prison to face those charges, well, I think they're not going to get him to abide by any sort of rules. I think that he is going to continue to break the rules. I have not met him, but just judging from what has happened and the amount of times that he has continued to reoffend or break the same rules, I would say that he's probably narcissistic. He's not an idiot. So that would be the only reason I would see for why he continues to do that. That's what I think about Mark Oesterle. Put him in prison. Part 5 of me cutting the crap and saying exactly what I think. Let's talk about William Vick. William Vick was murdered in Johnson County in 2022. At the time of his murder, he was married to a woman named Lorinda Vick. I have a whole playlist on this. I 100% believe that Lorinda Vick murdered her husband, William, and I think that she planted letters, said that her mom wrote those letters, and that she drugged her mom, which ultimately ended her mom's life as well. And I think that she has gotten away with all of this. I think that she's responsible for the murder of 2 people. And after murdering those 2 people, she is working as a nurse in Louisiana. I can't really say how she did it, but I think that she got access to medication. She had more knowledge about medication than anybody else, being the RN that she was. And I think that she murdered both of them. And so far has gotten away with it. Those are not the only crimes that Lorinda Vick has committed. She certainly has shown that she will forge signatures. She's done that. She has stolen things. She's lied and connived about so many things. She's in hot water right now and is facing charges. So if she will forge a signature of her father-in-law in order to get land in her possession, I don't think that it's too much to think that she forged her mother's handwriting on a letter saying that her mother murdered William Vick. That's my thoughts. We will see what happens with that case. Oh, also, I don't think that there's any way that while Jeff Phillips serves as the prosecutor in the 5th Judicial District, I think that there's absolutely no way that he is going to charge Lorinda Vick with that murder. I don't know why. I can't say why. I don't even want to presume why he would not want to seek justice, but I think that he doesn't have an interest in justice in that case.